Good morning, Wet Pets family. Today is D-Day for our pond and Beau's new home. For those of you who don't know, Beau is our MBU puffer. He is blind in one eye and he has been a great asset and friend of ours here for the last couple of years. And we've upgraded him with tanks a few times. He's gone from a 90 gallon to a 125. And instead of bumping him up to our 225, we're gonna go ahead and get him set up in a 475 gallon aquarium. We love this aquarium and we're really stoked to get it going. Today is Monday the 7th, I do believe, you guys. Let's go see where we're at getting this tank going. Stay tuned. Please hit that subscribe button, you guys. Hit the bell down there for the notifications so you can be the first to see all of the new stuff coming in and out of our shop on a weekly basis. As you can see, we're already in the process of getting this 475 emptied. We've got a sidekick, Brett, over here giving us a hand today. Right now we're going to worry about draining this tank today. We're getting all the stuff that used to be out of it. It used to house all of our koi. We're getting ready to head into koi season, so we're gonna have to figure out our core situation quickly. Trying to catch these guys are fun, as you can see. But once we get this emptied, you guys, we're gonna take all the substrate out, and then it's going to be kind of difficult figuring out how to get it moved without tweaking seams and things like that. But we have some pretty good ideas, so we're gonna get to catching these fish and getting this water out, guys. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, as you can see, we got everything out of the pond. We got all the koi fish moved. For you. Everyone say hi to Frankie. We got all the koi moved. We got the pond draining. We are draining it through a python and a sump pump. So we're draining it, trying to drain it twice as fast. Now we are unhooking filtration, things like that. This is a lot of the stuff that came out of the pond. We've had to move our koi to a temporary location out here. So this is it for koi right now, but we did get them moved and into a cycled tank comfortably. Plus they're gonna go through here and eat all that algae that's growing on the bottom. So we got these guys ready to go. Now we're working on where this thing is actually going, which is moving tanks out of the way. Never ending story here. So we're gonna try to get the pond drained today and at least get it off of the stand and be able to get the stand out here so we can start measuring and building the base, because we are lifting that tank about 3.5 feet into the air, higher than what it sits now. So we're at the mercy of drainage right now. Alrighty guys, about 2.5 hours later, we finally got this pond completely drained, all the fish moved, all the substrate pulled out, vacuumed out, and ready to go. So we're about ready to go ahead and take the, or this 475, I guess you would call it, and prepare it for its move. We're still debating on how we're gonna do this. The biggest thing is you guys can see all the angles on this thing, and trying to get it through a door, you know, it's gonna have to go on its side. So we're probably gonna take it this way and go straight up off onto its side right here. We were gonna use dollies and stuff, but I think we might be able to balance most of the weight right on this edge for the time being, just to get it from here to there. However, it is 2 pieces, so the base is separate from the top. The biggest thing is we gotta get that base out here, and we've got cinder blocks that we're going to build a new foundation underneath that base and lift it up about 3.5 feet. I would say about 3 feet altogether. We're gonna go 4 blocks high. I think they're what, 8 inches? So 8, 12, 16, 32. We're gonna go 32 inches high with this tank. But that's gonna be, you know, cinder blocks on every corner of the base, and getting this thing leveled, getting that stand level, or the base of this thing level. One of the things I want to talk about to you guys is when we got this tank, it leaked really, really bad. There used to be a built-in overflow that sat back there. It was a really, really cool feature of the tank. However, previous owner removed it, and the process of removing it, he did rip a hole into this end down there, ripped a hole over there, and we had another patch over here that we had to fix, which you can't really see. I had a really good friend of mine who came in and plastic welded. So we took parts off the old filter box to replace the bottom, and we had all of that patched. It's been running for over a year now. We haven't had any leaks on it, so we're pretty excited. So stay tuned, you guys. We're gonna get this thing moved. All right, guys, we got this tank up on its side, moved. We are pretty stoked on how far we're making it in such a short amount of time here. What's wrong? Are you loud? Are you being loud?
I didn't realize you were recording things.
No, you're good. So we did have an issue, or we do have an issue, but I think it's an avoidable issue. Right here is where we had our old water fountain, or the waterfall sitting on top of this thing. So you can tell it's a wood bottom. And that waterfall sat across this right here, and for a while we thought we still had a leak in this tank. And when we took the waterfall apart and redid this tank, and actually went with just canister filters instead of the waterfall, we didn't have any more leaks. We are spraying this down. We soaked it down heavily with bleach and some other things, and we've been scrubbing and wiping. It's still pretty solid. There's no soft spots in it and things like that, so I'm pretty optimistic that we don't have a leak anymore. It was just where our filtration was sitting, and we were running some pretty old school filters on here, you know, old FX5s and stuff like that. So I think that this is not going to be much of an issue. We didn't have any wet spots on the floor where it came up at or anything like that, so definitely 100% thinking that it was just the old filter waterfall leaking that just caused the mold issue. But we're going to get it all cleaned up and ready to go. Out here is where we're going to be setting this new tank. So when you come into the shop, it'll be the first thing you see when you walk into the door. It's going to look really, really, really good out here. And Beau, he's just chilling down there. He knows he's about to get a new home. So now we're getting it lined up. We're going to have to move this out of the way. We're going to have to get all of our cinder blocks here together and start putting this base together. Okay, I'm pretty hot. This is a lot of work, you guys. I don't even know what time it is anymore. Say hi to some of my fishies in here. They're mad because I just stole a bunch of their filters that were I had to move a lot of the stuff that was sitting over here in the corner because I ran out of cinder blocks, and we had all of their filters that are sitting down here. We're up on blocks, but we had to steal them for here, so now they got a cloudy tank. Not liking life, but they're getting there. We kind of had the base set up a little bit. Kind of went with a little bit of different pattern when you come in, so you can kind of see when you come in where that tank's going to sit and how it's going to be. It's going to look really, really good. But just wanted to give you an update on where we were at. We got the bases down. Now we're going to lift this up on top of here, and then we'll have to go through and level and shim and make sure everything is straight, stable, and sturdy. And then once we get that base set on, it would be just bringing the big tank out here and getting it set up there. So fingers crossed we can get this taken care of, guys. Phew. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the tank moved out of here. It is no longer back here. We do, however, now have it set up out here where we're trying to keep it and where we're going to have it set up at. Remember the whole thing I was telling you guys about? I was hoping to God that this thing wasn't leaking. Well, guess what? We have a small leak coming from underneath the tank. So we're not sure where it's at. We know it's completely level. Everything's 100% level. So I'm assuming that the leak is coming from this corner down here somewhere, down in there. So we are going to have to drain this stuff down and start going over it with a fine-tooth comb and trying to figure out where these leaks are. So let the draining begin. All right, you guys, I think we found the leak. I was able to get some of the silicone out here. Let me turn this around here. We got into doing some investigating in here, and all the silicone along this edge, all through here, was not even touching anything. Like, it just fell right out. So we ripped out as much silicone as I thought needed to come out, plus some. Scrubbed it pretty clean, got it nice and dry, and we were able to lay a nice thick bead of silicone down through there. In a perfect world, I would cut everything out and reseal it, but I don't have the time to do that whole part, and I really don't think it's necessary. So we did go ahead and hit these edges right here, which is where the old overflow box used to sit in this tank. So we got all that out. We got a new bead laid down in there, and we're gonna let this dry for the next 24 hours and water test this thing one more time. So you guys, you know the drill. Thanks for watching, you guys. Stay fishy. See you soon.